I'd like to ask firefighter Devontae Nichols from the Flowood Fire Department to come lead us with an invocation to start our ceremony.
Take seats.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for every individual that came out today. Lord, I ask you, Lord, to continue to just keep us safe from hurt, harm, and danger. And I ask you, Lord, to just always just be with us, Lord. And that's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
A little fire in that thing. Good morning. I'm Mike Cheney, your state insurance commissioner, and by virtue of this office, also the state fire marshal. The State Fire Academy is a subcategory of the Department of Insurance, and I'm here to welcome you this morning and to tell the class of 203 that you're probably entering the most respected profession in the United States and probably in the world as first responders. I will leave very shortly here to go to a wind pool meeting, and in case you're wondering what that means, that's the insurer of last resort for the Gulf Coast for wind and hail. Critical to economic recovery, critical in case of a catastrophic event. Some of you may be called on after you graduated to go to the Gulf Coast as a first responder on search and rescue missions. We pray that won't happen. But you're entering a profession that will require you to risk your life to save someone else's. I want you to remember that. It's your academy if you're here as a citizen of the state of Mississippi, and I'm proud that you guys have chosen to be trained here at the finest fire academy in the United States. Unfortunately, the director of the fire academy, my good friend Terry Wages, is retiring at the end of June, and this will be his last class to attend. I would like for you to give a round of applause for Director Terry Wages. Terry, will you please stand? Come on. This is a hard job running the #1 fire academy and training facility in the state of Mississippi and in the southern part of the United States. Actually, in the United States, we're ranked at the very top. You guys are the first class that I've been able to say we have the best ranking in the world right now at this State Fire Academy. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for all of you who are friends, parents, spouses, or relatives for backing this class of 203. Daniel.
Thank you, Commissioner Cheney, and welcome to the celebration and graduation of Firefighter Recruit Class 203. It's awesome to see such a great crowd out today. The last few classes we've packed this auditorium, and that's just awesome to see. These young men and women have faced tremendous challenges over the last 7 weeks, and most importantly, they've developed a bond and a new understanding of what teamwork means, something they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. As a team, they have risen to these challenges that has been placed in front of them. As they return to their individual departments, they will continue to overcome challenges as part of that team. Class 203 represents an evolution in state fire service training in many new ways of embracing new technologies and training as they are all across the country. The reward to these young men and women entering this great profession as firefighter is considered one of the most prestigious professions in the world, one of honor, integrity, sacrifice, and most of all, courage. These firefighters come from us from all across the state. From the north part of the state, Batesville Fire Department. Clarksdale Fire Department. Corinth Fire Department. Fulton Fire Department. Grenada Fire Department. Hernando Fire Department. South Haven Fire Department. And Tupelo Fire Department. From the central part of the state, Choctaw Fire Department. Flowood Fire Department. Greenville Fire Department. Yazoo City Fire Department. And from the southern part of the state, Gulfport Fire Department. And Moss Point Fire Department. Let's give them a round of applause. And to Class 203, you leave here today and go back to your departments. Remember to embrace the lessons you've learned here at State Fire Academy. Continually grow and develop yourself, your knowledge, and your skills. Just keep in mind it's human nature to believe we'll always rise to the highest expectations, but the fact is we will always fall to the level of training and skills and knowledge we've acquired over the years of our career. Invest in your department, your team, and most of all, invest in yourself. Prepare and grow to be the best you can be. Be ready to make a difference in our state fire service as the newest members of the Mississippi Fire Service. This time, I'd like to introduce our instructor chief of the Certification Bureau, Chief Marcus Collier.
Thank you, Director Wages, and once again, welcome to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. We're glad that you're here with us today to celebrate the accomplishment of Class 203. At the Academy here, we have 4 instructional bureaus. They consist of Special Operations, Extension Services, EMS, and the Certification Bureau. That group of certification members over here to my left has been the group that's predominantly been with your loved ones over the last few weeks. And I want to take just a second now to recognize them. As I call out some names for their recognition, you're probably going to remember some of these. You probably heard some of these names over the last few weeks. So you'll be able to put a face to the name now. So starting over here on the floor to my left, Advanced Instructor Will Cockey. Instructor William Thorpe. Instructor Lane Putt. Instructor Josh Clark. On the back row, but still big enough to see, Advanced Instructor Durfee Burns. Advanced Instructor Barry Burnside. On the stage to my left, Advanced Instructor Chris Carrera. And Class Coordinator, Senior Instructor Sean Sinclair. Thank you very much. Also, sitting on the back row next to Instructor Burnside is our Administrative Assistant, Miss Rebecca Cahoon. And as all you chiefs and training officers know, she's our #1 point of contact. So she keeps us straight and keeps us organized throughout the deliveries that we do every year. So I just want to say thank you to the efforts of each one of these individuals. It's been a long, grueling spring, but we're proud of the accomplishments. I'm proud of the accomplishments that this group's been able to make over the last 4 or 5 months. So we hit the ground running in January, and it's been pretty much nonstop. So we're going to catch a little breather right here going into next week. And we'll get geared up for the summer, and then 3 more classes in the fall. But first and foremost, what we're here today for is Class 203. I just want to say on behalf of the instructional staff, congratulations. You've earned it. So everything that we've thrown at you, everything that we've created as a struggle for you, you were able to come together as a team. And I feel like at some point you probably had to dig deep within yourself at some point to determine, hey, is this actually what I want to do or not? But as you sit here today, that's a testimony to the fact that you had the commitment and you had the consistency that it took, first to begin this program, and second of all, to complete it. And that's what I want to leave you with today, are those two words. You know, in my mind, I kind of have those two words established as the two C's of successfulness: commitment and consistency. So I think Denzel probably said it best, and probably a lot of people said it before he did, but he said, you don't start anything without commitment, and you'll never finish without consistency. And the best of my knowledge, in anything in life, whether it be in your personal life, your professional life, or whatever the case may be, I got to say that rings true. In the 48 years that I've had the opportunity to spend on this earth, commitment and consistency, those are the things that keep you going. Those are the things that see you through the hard times. Those are the things that see you through the struggle. And those are the two things that bring you ultimately to the success in your life. The goals that you have set, both personal and professional, it's going to require commitment. And then on top of that, in order to endure, you're going to have to stay consistent within it. So I leave you with that today, and I also leave you with a Bible verse, Galatians 6:9. I feel like this speaks specifically about consistency and commitment. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. That's commitment and consistency, as simplified as you can put it. Don't faint, and you will accomplish what you set out to accomplish. Stay in the race, stay in the fight, stay committed, stay consistent. On behalf of the instructional staff, once again, congratulations and God bless.
Big A on the bike.
I don't remember them saying I'd have to watch a man take his last breath with his wife and daughter at his chest, or to see a family's home go up in flames, knowing they've just lost everything. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on and don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. I never thought I'd see the terror in a mother's eyes as she watched her 15-year-old die. Or to feel the fire slap me in the face as it moves through this house at a steady pace. But we've got to know we did our best. Go on, don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. And I hope to God I never have to see a brother fall in battle at a fire we can't defeat. We've got to know we did our best. Go on and don't worry about the past. Try to make a difference in this crazy world today. 'Cause you know God made us that way. You know God made firefighters that way.
That video shows just a small fragment portion of what this group's been through over the last few weeks and everything that they've accomplished. Also, that song that you heard there at the end of the video was written and sung by Instructor Chief Shannon Sandridge. I don't think he's in the room right now, but he's Instructor Chief over the Extension Services Bureau. So, and he actually wrote that while he was in the basic class. So, real quick, before we move into the introduction of Instructor Sinclair, I just wanted to take the opportunity publicly and Director Wages, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your consistency over the last 4 years. And I just appreciate you. Everything that you've done for us as the instructional staff. And I know it hadn't been easy, but you fought a good fight. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the instructional staff. Thank you very much. This time I'd like to introduce class coordinator, senior instructor, Sean Sinclair.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. First, I want to say thank you guys for loaning your sons and your daughters to us for the past 7 weeks. I've had some of the most fun I've ever had dealing with this class. We had a few ups and downs, but I think we worked that all out. And I assure you, no matter what they said about me, I am a nice guy. So I won't prolong you guys anymore because I know y'all didn't come to see me. So we have a few things. Our first class award is going to be the highest GPA. It's going to be Lane Whittington Jr. Our second award is going to be most athletic. This literally came down to 1 point, and the winner was Washington. The next award we have is making a difference. I gotta say this kid right here from day one, I kind of took notice. He had a strange, nice, calm demeanor about himself, and he was always at the right place, right time, doing the right thing every single time, no matter what. And when I asked him to do something, whether it was PT, go get something, go do this, he always had a smile on his face. And then when I met his parents, it made all the sense in the world. From Greenville Fire Department, Noah Murphy. All right, you guys saw the video they were doing with the flag. That flag may not mean much to you guys, but that flag symbolizes this group coming together as a team and as a family and being one unit. So at this time,
On behalf of Class 203, I'd like to present this flag back to the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Right, peace. Forward, march.
and now I'd like to introduce our class speaker, Lane Whittington Jr.
Faculty, fellow classmates, family and friends, welcome to the graduation of Class 203. It is by the grace of God and the support of my wife that after serving in the Marine Corps and serving 26 years as a police officer, that I am standing here as a graduate of Mississippi State Fire Academy. It is true, all cops secretly want to be firefighters. I would like to talk to you for a moment about family. These young people in front of you have a heart to serve others. It is a gift that is nurtured by family. You, their loved ones, have helped them become that person that run into the burning building when others are running out. I encourage you to support them. There will be good days and bad days, pain and loss in their daily shifts. They will come home sometimes exhausted, sometimes full of energy. Talk to them about it. It makes all the difference. Being a firefighter is not just a job. It's about being a part of a family. At the beginning, we knew nothing about each other. By the end, we came together as a family to accomplish our goal of becoming Mississippi firefighters. I'm proud of us all. I'll leave you with a Bible verse from Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. Thank you.
Before I introduce our guest speaker today, I want to take the opportunity to show some appreciation for our support staff here at the Fire Academy. This agency, we have about 60 staff members out here. About 28 of those are instructional staff, but the support staff and administrative staff that support the training here at the Fire Academy could not be done without everyone putting in their efforts to make sure that the courses are delivered, the books are ordered, the power bills are paid, everything's clean and in order, and the lunches are cooked. So just to name a few. So I'd like to give a round of applause to our support staff here at Mississippi Fire Academy. Also, as these new recruits enter into this career and move forward over the next few years, I want you to understand the depth of the fire service for this state. And part of that, each class is unique in its own way because each class comes through and there's always something going on in the state with the fire service as each class graduates. So it brings into mind the efforts that go on out in the state to make sure this profession is protected, make sure that the firefighters are trained and that the fire trucks are staffed. In our audience today, we have the president of the Mississippi Fire Chiefs Association, my good friend Reuben Brown. Please stand, Reuben. Also, we have several members. I know I've seen 2 or 3 members, past members of our executive boards for the fire service leadership in the state. I'm looking around to see if will you please stand if you're here today? Past members or members? And I got to give special recognition to one person, and I told him I would. So, like I said, each class is unique. Chief Scott Berry is retiring, I think, effective June 9th. So he's dressed appropriately, as you can tell. So we're proud of him for that fact. But Chief Berry has served on the board and has been a tremendous advocate for fire service across the state, making sure that our profession continues the way it is. So much appreciation to you, Chief Berry, as you go into your retirement. I plan to join you in a few days. So thank you. Our guest speaker today began his fire service career in 1998. He sent his bio over a couple of days ago, and it was about 4 lines. So he said, you probably juiced it up a little, didn't you, Terry? I think that's the word you used. I said, yeah, I did, because he's so modest. He's a fireman's firefighter, that's for sure. But he quickly made an impact on his department by obtaining a National Registry EMT basic and paramedic at the beginning of his career. He holds an Associate Applied Science degree, 2003. He's a Mississippi Executive Fire Officer graduate, 2008. He's a smoke diver, 2003, class 65. Certified Advanced Rescue Specialist, 2006. He served as Secretary Treasury for the Mississippi Firefighters Association from 2009 to 2014 and Chairman of the Mississippi Minimum Standards Board for the past 2 years. He's also a member in good standing with the Mississippi Fire Chiefs Association, where he plans to run for the Central Mississippi position next week at our firefighters conference. So we're very proud of him for stepping up to take that position. He's just recently been appointed to the Fire Chief of the Reservoir Fire Department. Please join me in welcoming my good friend and Fire Chief, Josh Swells.
Director Wages, thank you very much. It's truly an honor to be able to stand up here in front of you and talk to this graduating class today. But before we get started, if you'll allow me, I would like to recognize a couple of groups of people. The first group I want to recognize is the leaders in the fire service in the state. If you're a chief officer, would you please stand for me? I'd like to recognize you for your leadership and your dedication to the fire service. If you're a chief officer, would you please stand? You look around the room, you see you got a lot of support in here. We hope to all be like the guy in the Hawaiian shirt eventually. That's our fire chief at the Reservoir Fire Department. He's a hell of a fire chief and been a good friend. All right, moving forward, I'm a huge proponent of the military, and this weekend, obviously, is Memorial Day weekend. This is a weekend that we remember the fallen and injured soldiers in combat. And if you've ever served in the military or you're currently serving in the military, would you please stand? Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your honor and your dedication to protecting us in this great United States of America. Thank you. Now on to class 203. I commend you guys on a job well done. I thank you for the huge undertaking of raising your hand and committing to a life of public safety. You're going to save lives in your career, and you will see rewards from saving those lives throughout your career. As I was, when Deputy Director Cross called me about speaking to this class, I spoke probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I thought maybe I'll use that speech that I did because nobody's going to remember that anyway from 7 or 8 years ago. So I pulled it out, and I was sitting down at my desk, and I try to memorize a lot of it versus just standing here and reading it to you. And as I was sitting there and kind of going over that speech, I thought, oh, today's Monday. I've got to go across the hall and write something on the whiteboard. So our fire station's kind of separated. You got the administration on one side, you got the firefighters' quarters on the other side. And we have this big whiteboard over there that we write information on. Well, every Monday, I generally go over there and I write a quote on there. I have this in my desk drawer. I have this big sheet. It's like, and I found it years and years ago, but it's 101 rules and quotes for firefighters. Some of them are funny. Some of them are really cool things to carry on and think about for your entire career. But the guys like it. A lot of them always want to know what I'm going to write up there every Monday. Like I said, some of them are funny. I walked over there this week, and the one I wrote on the board is one that you need to listen to. In all caps, I wrote up there: "Never date a coworker, no exceptions." So we shared a pretty good laugh about that one. And as I was walking back across the hall, it hit me. I said, you know what? That's what I'm going to do my speech on. I'm going to talk about some of these quotes that are on this paper. The guys at the fire station, they love it a lot. Like I said, they're not all quotes. Some of them are rules, and they're not the typical rules that you would think of, like show up to your shift work 30 minutes early, or be the first one into the kitchen to clean the dishes after a dinner at the fire station, or listen twice as much as you talk. It's not those kind of rules. These are more the rules kind of like for the long game of your career. The fire service is full of traditions. It's full of virtues that we pass along for generations and generations. The list is certainly not all inclusive. It had 101 of them. I had to narrow it down to about 10 of them, 10 or 11 of them. That was kind of hard to do, but here we go. I'm going to lay them out for you. So rule number 1, surround yourself with good people. Always remember that toxic people, they will sabotage your happiness and they will ruin your attitude. Always remember that attitudes are contagious, good and bad. Rule number 2, learn something new and fire related each and every shift. Our job is a trade that's steeped in traditions. The more often we practice the more perfect you become at it. When it's 2 a.m., you're on your 15th call, you pull up at a house fire, and you have heaven forbid, you have a brother go down or sister go down in that fire, then you have to go in there and save them. If you've trained enough and you're prepared, it's automatic. Your instincts will kick in. Rule number 3, seek out the busiest fire stations and the best company officers. These busy firehouses, they drive home the skills and the practice and the things that you've practiced. They'll make you think quick on your feet. The busier you are, the quicker you can think on your feet because you get to use that over and over again. And guess where those best officers usually are? At the busy firehouses. That's what they want to do. They like to perfect their craft. They want to be really busy to perfect their craft as well. And they'll push you to be better. Number 4, be loyal. This isn't just being willing to risk your life for your fellow firefighter. This is not forgetting where you came from and not forgetting who you represent. On the back of your bunker coat, there's 2 names on the back of your bunker coat. One of them is the department you work for. The other one's your last name. Do them both justice. Number 5, always remember where you came from. As you move through your career and you promote through the ranks, never forget where you came from. Never forget that you were in that firefighter's position. Be there for them. Stand up for them. Get in the trenches with them. I don't care how many certificates or achievements you've got, never boast about them. Just do your job. Keep your head down. Number 6, honor your profession. Many have came before you and they've sacrificed a lot so that you can have respect and honor while you're wearing that badge. Do them justice because you're going to be a firefighter from now on, day in, day out, on duty or off duty, everywhere you go. Number 7, never forget. We hear this slogan all the time, but it's more than just about never forgetting the fallen. Okay, this slogan right here is never forgetting the war stories that you hear the old guys tell. You'll sit around those war and you think, I don't know if I really have to hear this war story again, but never forget those stories are full of experiences and teachable experiences and mistakes that were made, and all those are very transferable to you, and we can pass those down to each other. Number 8, respect is earned. You cannot buy respect and you cannot demand respect. You have to earn respect by sticking your nose in there and getting the work done. I always tell my kids all the time, never stand around and watch somebody work. I don't care if you don't know what you're doing. Get in there and try to do something. I'd rather you try to help and do it wrong than not help at all. And that's how you earn respect from somebody. Number 9, mentor your firefighters. Mentor new firefighters. You owe it to them. Somebody mentored you coming along. You pick one and you mentor them as well. One day you won't be the new firefighter anymore. You'll be the old firefighter. So you have to teach those new guys to take your place and become the old firefighter. Number 10, remember your greatest resource is your fellow firefighters and your families. Your fellow firefighters will do great things with you, and they'll do things that only other firefighters can understand. Y'all will be in the trenches together. But when you go home from shift work, lock in and be with your families. Never forget that they're there for you, and they sacrifice a lot for you to be able to do this job. And lastly, I'll leave you this. Love this job, and it'll love you back. It's a good job. All of you here will find some certain niche that you really like in the fire service. And when you find that niche, you hang on to it. You share it with somebody. You never let it burn out, and you pass it along. God bless each and every one of you, and congratulations.
Class 203, rise. West face. Forward, march.
Nicholas Arundel. Austin Bayless. Eric Becerra. Jaden Bell. Christian Clifton. DeMarcus Fauntleroy. Andrew Herman. Brandis Johnson. Gage Johnson. William Jones. Dalen Kitchen. Anthony McCoy. Ben McCaleb. Noah Murphy. Devontae Nichols. Parker Noblin. Jaden Peters. Kenneth Roy. Ryan Self. Ben Shannon. Caden Showes. Ferrante Sims. Charles Washington. Lane Whittington. Donovan Zeals.
All right. we get stuck in the formality of a graduation. Show your appreciation to these young men and women as we proclaim by the authority granted to the Mississippi State Fire Academy and the powers under the laws of the state of Mississippi, we proclaim Class 203 as the newest Mississippi firefighters. That concludes our ceremony for today. Please feel free to stick around as long as you need. You can take pictures out front or in the auditorium. I think we have refreshments out front. Please drive safe going home, and God bless you all.